Hey everyone, this is Tea Geek Eric, and this video doesn't really have that much to do with tea, other than about one of the things I'm gonna eat from a tea shop. So this is what I'm calling the 3 times mouth numbing challenge or something. It's not an actual one of those viral challenges, or at least it isn't yet. Maybe it will be, maybe I'll start it. But this was inspired, I actually thought of this idea a few months ago, and then it was kind of too chicken to actually do it. And then I just had a conversation with somebody on Facebook that was like, I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to eat 3 different well, not commonly found, but 3 different food ingredients that all numb your mouth, but they do it in 3 really different ways. So it should be interesting. So I will be eating Sichuan peppercorns, cloves, which you're probably more familiar with, and Kava root. I'm going to start with the Sichuan peppercorns because I kind of have a feeling that the cloves might cancel them out or something. I'm going to do it for science. So taste-wise, bitter, kind of soapy almost. They're not a thing you would normally just eat on their own. So Sichuan peppercorns are a common ingredient in Sichuan cooking, which is a part of China. Contrary to popular belief, they're not responsible for the spiciness of Sichuan food. Okay, the weirdness is happening. That's enough. So they're responsible for the tingling feeling from Sichuan food, and they have sort of a metallic tingle. And the way that that tingling works is actually really interesting. Oh, I gotta drink some water. That's too weird. I'm not like trying to cancel it out. I'm just trying to get the flavor out of my mouth. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel the tingling. So yeah, the way it works is by stimulating a touch sensor. So just like capsaicin in hot peppers makes your tongue feel hot because it stimulates heat sensors, these Sichuan peppercorns stimulate a touch sensor. And there's a cool study in the, my tongue's already messed up. There's a cool study in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B a while ago that showed that it was a touch sensor. And the way they figured this out was by stimulating people's tongues with a little vibrating thing at the right frequency to sort of tire out the nerve responsible for feeling that touch sensation. And then giving them the peppercorns, and they perceived them as less tingly. So that's a cool mechanism. It's not really like a numbing. It's usually described as that. It is really more of a tingling. But for the sake of the 3 times numbing challenge, we'll call it numbing. Okay. That's very tingly. It's kind of cooling also. So next, I'm going to eat some cloves, which is another thing you don't just chew on usually. I'm going to start with 1, because I think that's enough. So actually, I'm just going to kind of suck on it a little bit at a time. So the numbing agent in cloves is eugenol, which is used to be used in dentistry before Novocaine was developed to sort of numb and numb your teeth or whatever for dentistry. And I'm kind of hoping it cancels out the tingling from the Sichuan peppercorns, but I'm actually not exactly sure how eugenol works yet. So let me just learn about that real quick, and then I'll kind of maybe re-up on those 2 before I eat the 3rd one. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've been chewing on that clove for a while, and I will tell you about what I learned while I eat another Sichuan peppercorn to confirm. So eugenol, it actually works really very much the same way that local anesthetics do, by shutting off some sodium-gated channels. So it actually does stop nerves from transmitting signals. So as far as I can tell, that's true, because the part of my tongue that had a clove on it actually doesn't feel tingly anymore, but part of my tongue still does feel tingly. So right now I'm chewing on another peppercorn. I'm going to see if I can reactivate the eugenol part of my tongue. Ugh. It tastes more bitter this time, so I think something happened with the eugenol. So I can't really, can't actually get the full times 3x numbing challenge happening here because one cancels out the other. So anyways, we'll move on to the third one, and then at the end I'll do them all or something. So the third one is Kava Kava. Kava is a root that is, you can get, I got this from a tea shop, from Happy Lucky's Tea House and Treasures, where I used to work. And it is a root, and it tastes like dirt. It is not good tasting. It's not pleasant tasting at all. It's not like horribly offensive, but it's not great. It's something that you can drink and makes you feel less inhibited. And you know, I read about it when we first got it at the tea shop, and it was like, oh, it's used to treat social anxiety. Interesting. And I tried some. You brew it for a really, really long time because the active ingredients aren't very water soluble. And you drink this like muddy slurry that tastes nasty. And it feels kind of like alcohol, but maybe a little bit less kind of dizzy or something. And it was like, oh, so it treats social anxiety the same way alcohol does, basically. But it also has this weird side effect of numbing your throat, numbing your stomach, which is a weird feeling, and numbing your mouth, of course. It does this by acting as a vasoconstrictor. So a vasoconstrictor is something that makes your blood vessels constrict. So that's enough of that. I definitely feel it doing things. So it actually constricts the blood vessels, the blood flow to your mouth, to your tongue, to your tissues, and makes them feel numb, sort of in the same way that when your hands are really cold, they feel kind of numb because the blood vessels in your hands are constricting to keep blood flow in your core and not at your extremities where you can lose a lot of heat. So yeah, my tongue feels really weird. Kava is a strange, strange feeling, and it lasts a pretty long time. So, all right, here we go for the final challenge. I'm going to do a couple peppercorns. Oh, interesting fact about the peppercorns, too. It's not the actual seeds that are numbing. It's like the husk of the seeds. So when you go and buy some for cooking, you want lots of the husks and not the actual little black seeds. So I got some peppercorns. I got a clove. I'm going to do like 3 peppercorns, a clove, and like a chunk of kava. And eat that all at once. For science. Yeah, that's delicious. No. Yeah, that is like the worst, weirdest taste. I mean, it's like eating bitter, woody, dirty soap or something. Okay. Yeah, that's a weird. I just spit that out. Ugh. Yay, I did it! Ugh, it's so weird. It's such a weird feeling. All right, so if you can get these ingredients, I want you to do the 3 times numbing challenge as well and post a video on it. Sichuan peppercorns you can get at your local Asian grocery store. Cloves you probably have in your cabinet already. You can get them in the baking aisle. And then kava you can get from happyluckies.com or probably other local tea and herb shops or natural food stores, things like that. Maybe even like Whole Foods has it in the supplement aisle. Oh, it's reaching the back of my throat. Oh, so weird. Yeah, that's really strange. It's metallic-y. Anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope I entertained you, and I hope you learned something about how food ingredients interact with the sensations that your tongue can feel in different ways to altogether, which would never happen in the real world. Thank you so much. If you liked it, hit the like button and please subscribe. Most of the videos are about tea and not about weird stuff like this. But if you like this, maybe I'll do weird stuff like this more often. All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.